morning. Greetings, friends. What is up? Welcome to the Brightside, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to the Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on the Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is simply the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we are here for you on the Bright Side. We welcome your calls at 855-660-4261. If you want to get off your medications and get on a good nutritional supplement program, help a loved one get off their meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you out. If you have questions about the longevity products, skincare formulations, ingredients, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 855-660-4261 is your phone number on the Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear us talk about on the Bright Side, you can give the Brightside Ben phone team a call at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Make sure you ask about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine multivitamin mineral complex powder. It's so easy to use. It's so tasty. It's $50 a canister. Most folks will notice results within 1 or 2 doses. If you're listening to this program, if you've been listening to this program, you are pre-qualified to enjoy the benefits of this wonderful product. If you understand how nutrition works, you are pre-qualified to enjoy the benefits of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. In just 1 or 2 doses, you'll notice results like lower blood pressure, more energy, appetite suppression. You may wean yourself off your prescription drugs, and it's all just for $50 a canister. You can find out all about it by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, or you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com, and pull down on the menu, the pull-down menu with all the longevity products. You can also click on the Join the Team link in the upper left-hand corner of the page if you're interested in starting a longevity business for a one-time $10 fee. You can make some money selling longevity products and enjoy all the tax benefits associated with having your own business, including writing off your home office, writing off your samples, writing off your mileage, all for a one-time $10 fee. Where can you get a business for $10, folks? And you can find out all about it by clicking on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com. All right, we're going to spend the next couple of days talking about the most reactive of the amino acids, the hardening amino acids, and in a sense the most dangerous and problematic of the amino acids, and that's cysteine. Cysteine has a structural component to it. It gives the body a certain hardness, as we've said. It has an ability to harden tissues, harden connective tissue, harden collagen. And this makes it an important amino acid for healthy skin and healthy nails and healthy hair, especially hair and hair care. Hair care companies oftentimes exploit the cysteine component of the protein keratin. If you do Google search for keratin in shampoo, you're going to get over 5 million hits. And if you just take a little walk through your shampoo section at Walmart or Kmart or your favorite grocery store, you'll find dozens of shampoos that scream keratin right on their labels. Contains keratin, made with keratin. There's shampoos and brand names with keratin in their names. Keranique and Keralique and Suave with keratin and keratin oils and keratin conditioners. Do these keratin products work in your hair? Probably not. Keratin's important stuff, but keratin is a very stable protein, and hair is dead anyway, and hair and keratin aren't necessarily going to combine with each other, and you're not really going to get much benefit for your hair just by applying a keratin shampoo or a keratin conditioner. However, in the salon world, hairstylists can make use of cysteine and keratin in a product they call the Brazilian Blowout. The Brazilian Blowout was all the rage maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Still pretty popular, although now it turns out, there's high levels of formaldehyde in the Brazilian Blowout products. So there's newer Brazilian-type blowout products that don't have the same issues. I'll tell you about the formaldehyde problem here in a moment. In any case, the Brazilian Blowout is basically a hair straightening treatment. Folks in Brazil have frizzy hair, and so hair scientists in Brazil came out with this product that thins out frizzy hair. It seems like if you have curly hair, you want it straight. If you have straight hair, you want it curly. In any case, Brazilian hair tends to be curly and frizzy, and the Brazilian Blowout product was created to turn this frizzy hair into a smooth, straight hair that can last for weeks. Previously, hair relaxer products and straighteners simply use heat and very harsh chemicals like lye and potassium hydroxide, which were alkalinizing agents that kind of destroyed the hair, really. But by using cysteine in this Brazilian Blowout product, sometimes it's in the form of keratin, Brazilian Blowout and similar products managed to avoid the use of lye and potassium hydroxide and still got some pretty good hair straightening results. However, as it turns out, it's come to the attention of the Food and Drug Administration here in this country and OSHA and other researchers that the Brazilian Blowout product actually got their fantastic results, and they did get some pretty darn good results with this Brazilian Blowout product. You could straighten your hair for up to 6 weeks with this product, but as it turns out, some of these fantastic results weren't the results simply of keratin and weren't the results simply of cysteine, but actually they were the results of the formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is a not very pleasant carcinogenic chemical that is used to preserve dead bodies. And when I was in pharmacy school in biology, we used formaldehyde to preserve frogs and fetal pigs and all the other things that we had to, all the other dead animals that we had to examine in pharmacy school. Formaldehyde is actually a biochemical. It's made in the body, but high levels of formaldehyde are not a good thing. The OSHA study, one particular OSHA study, found that 60 times the amount of allowable formaldehyde was in at least one Brazilian Blowout product. And the average Brazilian Blowout product contained 12% formaldehyde. That's a lot of formaldehyde. In any case, whether or not there's formaldehyde in these kinds of products, and the companies that sell these products deny the formaldehyde accusations, in any case, hair straightening by its very nature is a very aggressive procedure because hair contains these cysteine bonds. This is what accounts for the hardness of hair. It doesn't seem like your hair is hard, but from a microscopic perspective, if you pull a strand of hair out and look under a microscope, it's a pretty solid piece of tissue. Dead tissue, but solid piece of tissue, something like your fingernails. And what makes hair strong, and what makes your fingernails strong for that matter, is these cysteine bonds. And cysteine bonds are really, really magnetic. Cysteine is a super, super magnetic amino acid. That's what makes it so reactive, and cysteine bonds are really hard to break, so you have to have some aggressive treatments to break them. The cysteine in hair and nails, and for that matter in skin and hooves, in the form of the protein keratin, is what accounts for the hardness of the nails and the surface of the skin. You can even get styling products, by the way, hair styling products now with keratin in them. Unfortunately, as I say, keratin hair products are more about marketing and misinformation than actual keratin effects. At best, keratin may soften hair a little bit by acting as a moisturizer. And it's possible, although it's unlikely, that some keratin may get deposited in the hair shaft, allowing for a temporary straightening effect, although that too is unlikely. That's why you got to use the formaldehyde. The formaldehyde actually dissolves the cysteine in the hair and dissolves the cysteine in the Brazilian Blowout product and the other amino acids, and you get kind of an amino acid soup via this formaldehyde solvent, and this amino acid soup can penetrate somewhat into the hair, and this is what allows the Brazilian Blowout products to straighten the hair. Bottom line is, unless you really, really, really want your hair straightened, personally, I'd be staying away from the Brazilian Blowout product or any kind of formaldehyde-containing shampoo products. All right, got more to say about cysteine when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got a couple lines open for you at 855-660-4261. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. And there's no reason why you shouldn't live to be at least 100 and have a great time getting there. And I'm going to give you a free copy of my lecture that tells you exactly how to do it. In fact, after you've lived a long and healthy life, there should be only 2 documents in your medical chart, a birth certificate and a death certificate. I'm Dr. Wallach with a warning. If you have a 4-inch medical chart, if you take prescription drugs for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, arthritis, joint pains, and other health issues, the medical profession is failing you. They're using you for an ATM machine. My free lecture is going to reveal what pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know. There's been groundbreaking research and discoveries on how to effectively treat or eliminate over 900 different diseases naturally, and it's all in my free lecture called Deadly Recipe. So call toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. Again, that's toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. 1-855-79-YOUNG.
Gold is like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
A little right, a little left, but always independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network, GCN.
All right, we're back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben, our number 855-660-4261, and we do have a couple lines open for you. Try to get on board early so we can get to as many calls as possible at 855-660-4261. If you're in the Bay Area, I will be doing a talk in Santa Cruz, California this Friday, a week from tomorrow, March the 7th, 6:30 p.m. at the Vintage Faith Church. Hope to see you all out there. Stop by and say hello. We're going to talk about hacking into the biosystem for good health and longevity. That'll be at the Vintage Faith Church next Friday, March the 7th in Santa Cruz, California. Hope you make it out. All right, so continuing on with cysteine and the Brazilian blowout and hair care. Hair, like the skin, depends on internal nutrients for its health. That means eating cysteine is way more important and a way better option for taking care of your golden locks than applying cysteine or keratin directly to your hair. Once the hair is out of the head, it's like your fingernails. It's basically dead. Not to say that there's nothing that can be done with the hair once it leaves the scalp. Hair is a very flexible material. It's stretchy. It's a kind of stretchy biological fiber, and hair can absorb certain things, at least on the hair surface. This is how hair conditioners work. Hair conditioners actually have a kind of magnetic property, and they can magnetically attach themselves to the surface of your hair shaft, and that's what accounts for that kind of smooth feeling that a hair conditioner will leave on your hair. It doesn't do anything to the hair from a chemical standpoint. It's more of a mechanical kind of thing. It coats the hair shaft magnetically. That's how a hair conditioner works. So you can do certain things to hair. It's not like you can't do anything. But if your hair is brittle or if your hair is dry, you're probably dealing with an internal issue more than you're dealing with a topical hair issue. Now, keratin, the cysteine-rich protein that gives hair and skin and nails its hardness, keratin is really interesting stuff. The skin is composed of layers. You've got a very bottom layer. That's called your dermis. And for the most part, skincare products aren't really going to address this bottom layer. But the top layer, the epidermis, epi means on top of, this epidermis area, it too is composed of layers. And there are things that you can do to the epidermis using topical strategies. Now, in order to get to that area, to get to the areas where you can really do something to the skin, you got to get through the surface, the very tippy-top surface of the skin. And this very tippy-top surface of the skin, believe it or not, is about as thin as 1/10 of a piece of paper. This very tippy top of the skin is what holds everything in place. It keeps the water in the skin. It keeps water from evaporating out. It keeps water from getting in. It keeps skincare products from getting in. This very, very thin layer, about 1/10 as thin as a piece of paper. It's largely composed of our hard protein keratin. In fact, technically, skin cells are actually called keratinocytes because skin cells make keratin. Cyte, C-Y-T-E, is the Latin designation for cell, and a keratinocyte is quite literally a keratin-making cells. So skin cells are born in the bottom layer of the skin, the bottom layer of the epidermis, and they gradually rise up to the top, becoming more and more filled with keratin. And by the time a skin cell has made it from the bottom layer to the top layer, it's essentially a dead keratin-filled bag. It's a little speck of hard keratin. And you multiply this little speck of hard keratin millions, maybe even billions of times, and you get this surface, this thin, super microscopic thin surface that gives the body, that keeps the body in place, really, that gives the skin a certain hardness and keeps everything intact underneath the skin. These little specks of keratin are what keep our entire body in place. If you didn't have these little specks of keratin, we would dissolve into a puddle, literally. How cool is that? The entire body is held in place by little specks of keratin that form a layer that's about as thin as 1/10 of a piece of paper, 1/10 of a piece of paper. By the way, when the keratinocyte reaches the very top of the skin, it's not called a keratinocyte any longer. It's called a corneocyte, which means a hard cell, and thus the term, the stratum corneum, which means the hard layer. That's the technical name for the tippy top layer of the skin, which is directly exposed to the environment. Stratum corneum is Latin for hard layer, and it gets its name from the fact that it's made up of corneocytes, hard cells. Many skin diseases, acne, eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, these are all caused by defects in the process of keratinocytes moving upwards and becoming corneocytes. This movement of cells from the lower layer to the upper layer, from the keratinocyte level to the corneocyte level, is really, really very tightly regulated and very tightly controlled. If there's any defects in the structure of the skin cells, if you have any defects in the outside membrane of a skin cell, or if you have any inflammation locally in the skin, this process, this movement of a keratinocyte, this morphing of a keratinocyte into a corneocyte is not going to occur correctly, and we will end up with skin diseases. This is where the vast majority of skin diseases take place, is in the movement or the morphing of a skin cell into a hard, dead corneocyte. For example, if skin cell chemistry is not proceeding correctly, if there's inflammation in the skin, maybe perhaps from eating the wrong kinds of foods or from nutritional deficiencies, suffocation, local lack of oxygen can do it. If you have any kind of problems in the skin cells are not going to be able to do their work effectively, and all kinds of problems can arise. For example, skin cells can make too much keratin. They'll basically overproduce the stuff. Remember, all disease is cell disease, and this is true about the skin as it's true about any other part of the body. All skin disease is skin cell disease. That means acne is a skin cell disease. That means psoriasis is a skin cell disease. That means eczema, a skin cell disease. Even something like dry skin, which almost everybody has, is a skin cell health issue. One of the biggest problems, one of the most likely things to go wrong when skin cells are disrupted, or the growth and the movement of skin cells are disrupted, is they're going to make too much keratin, and you can end up with these little hard bumps on the skin. That's called keratoses. If you're a skincare therapist, you'll probably call it keratoses pylorus. That's just a fancy way of saying you got too much keratin. Sometimes you'll get little bumps on the face. Women, this especially happens to women as they get older. Those are called milia. And milia and keratoses, these are all medical jargon, medical words for a keratin abnormality. Skin cells are making too much keratin. Keratinocytes, skin cells, are cranking out too much of this protein. This is also a major component of acne. And it's a major problem with the formation of pimples, a major problem with the formation of zits. Remember, all illness is cell illness. All disease is cell disease. So if you got milia, you got keratoses, you got pimples, you got rashes, you have a skin cell issue, a keratinocyte issue. So what do? Well, skin cells, like all cells, are very dependent on fats and fatty vitamins. Skin cells know what to do by talking to each other, and they talk to each other at the level of their membrane. That's that coating, that covering on top of cells. If a skin cell is like an M&M, the membrane is like the candy coating on top of the M&M, and skin cells, like all cells, talk to each other. They communicate to each other at the level of their candy coating, at the level of their membrane. This membrane is largely composed of fats and fatty vitamins, and that's why vitamin A, essential fatty acids, vitamin E, vitamin D are so important for the control and the stabilization of the growth, the movement of skin cells. All right, we'll continue. We come back from our break and take your phone calls as well. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this.
Did you know that organic sulfur can cleanse and defend your body against the poisons we're exposed to each day? Organic sulfur crystals from sulfurdefense.com help by forcing oxygen and nutrition into your cells while eliminating heavy metals, contaminants, and damaging radiation. Defend yourself and family from toxic assault with one of the most critical and essential minerals available today. Order online at sulfurdefense.com. That's sulfurdefense.com, or call 800-593-6273.
Please pay attention, folks. AmericanSurvivalWholesale.com is a Christian, veteran-owned wholesale preparedness company. Our mission is to get the Word of God out to all those in need of a Bible and who cannot afford one. We also provide great-tasting freeze-dried food from only 50 cents per serving, GMO-free food, over 1,000 preparedness items. Plus, for a limited time, type in the word Genesis at checkout and get a free King James Bible with every purchase. That's AmericanSurvivalWholesale.com.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, listen carefully. Sweeping changes to IRS policies will help more people than ever eliminate their tax debts once and for all. And now, thanks to Dan Pilla, you can get the tax help you need to end your tax nightmare.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I've helped thousands of people reduce or eliminate tax debts they couldn't pay. And after more than 30 years of experience dealing with the IRS, I can tell you there's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. With the IRS's new policies, it's easier than ever to put your tax debt behind you once and for all. Call now at 800-346-6829 to learn how I can help you. You know your IRS debt will not go away by itself, but you don't have to live in fear anymore. Call 800-346-6829. Learn how I can help you eliminate wage and bank levies, release tax liens, and negotiate a settlement settlement with the IRS that will put your tax nightmare behind you forever. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, taxhelponline.com. That's taxhelponline.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Take delivery in spring. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Curious about what comes next? Next is the feeling of vulnerability you get after you arrive home to discover your house has been ransacked by burglars. Fool the bad guys with a new improved fake TV. You asked for it, we listened, and we made our new fake TV 3 times brighter than our previous model. The brightness of our new fake TV is equivalent to a 40-inch TV. It simulates the color and motion of a real TV while you're away from home. And when burglars think someone is home watching television, they're likely to pass your house and move on to an easier target. The new, brighter fake TV is only $39.95 and includes free shipping. Go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. That's 877-532-5388. Or go to faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are GCN.
And welcome back to the Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're here 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 on our archive page at brightsideben.com. You'll find a shopping cart as well as a Join the Team link that you can click on if you want to start a longevity business and make some money selling some longevity products. Of course, you can always call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. Our number today on the Bright Side, our number every day on the Bright Side is 855-660-4261. We do have a line open for you. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about skin health and nutrients that you can use for skin health, all as it regards the outside coating of a keratinocyte, a skin cell that makes keratin. Especially involves fats and fatty vitamins. If you have tiny bumps on the skin, those little milia, keratoses, acne, eczema, psoriasis, any kind of skincare problem, really, you want to focus on fats, fatty vitamins first and foremost. Of course, that also implies that you want to focus on fat absorption. Fat malabsorption syndrome affects millions of Americans. We'll continue this discussion tomorrow as we continue talking about peptides and skincare and proteins and amino acids on the Bright Side. 855-660-4261 is our number. Let's go to Minnesota and say hello to Teresa. Welcome to the Bright Side, Teresa.
Hi, Ben. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay,
what's going on?
I have a couple questions. My first question is pertains to a man who was previously on. He was addicted to OxyContin.
Okay.
And his doctor had put him on something called, I'm going to spell it because I don't think I can pronounce it, but it's B-U-P-R-E-N-O.
Bupropion. Bupropion? That's Wellbutrin. That's a famous drug they give for weaning people off of drugs, off of addictive substances. You know, it's really silly stuff. I can't say that because if you're addicted to heroin or OxyContin or have an opiate addiction or whatever kind of addiction you have, it can, withdrawing from that kind of stuff, you go through these rebound effects where you end up really anxious and jittery, and that's kind of a rebound effect from coming off of the suppressant kind of drugs, the suppressant effects of these drugs, these opiate types of drugs. So you get this rebound jitteriness and anxiety, and sometimes the Wellbutrin can help. But it really, you know, it's just kind of like replacing one terrible substance with another terrible substance. Right. The latest thing, what people are doing now, what medical professionals, savvy medical professionals anyway, are doing now to get people off of drugs is using amino acids, especially glutamine. All amino acids really, but especially glutamine, glutathione building substances. We've been talking about glutathione now for a while. Cysteine is a component of glutathione. Glutamine is a component of glutathione. Eating more protein, improving protein digestion, using stomach acid supplements, things like bile salts, the ultimate enzymes from longevity, apple cider vinegar. That's pretty much the strategy that you want to take if you're coming off of opiate addiction. I would personally be using the amino acid strategy, especially glutamine and glutathione building substances. B vitamins are also very important for all brain health issues, and of course opiates affect the brain, and this is where a lot of the withdrawal symptoms come from. And using the B vitamins can be helpful, as well as essential fatty acids. You have two kinds of nutrients. You have fatty nutrients and you got the watery nutrients. The watery nutrients are the ones that are more quick acting, and those are the B vitamins and your electrolytes. You'll get those in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. They're very important. Some of the amino acids can be quick acting as well. Taurine is really a really nice amino acid for all kinds of jittery effects, anxiety. It's a stabilizing amino acid. It is used to treat epilepsy and seizure disorders. If you've drank too much coffee, taurine can have a nice relaxing effect on the jitteriness that you get from drinking too much coffee. Same thing with coming down from opiates. The amino acid-like substance, GABA, can be helpful. GABA, that can have a nice calming effect as well. Maybe 100 to 500 milligrams a day of GABA. 5-HTP can be helpful for some folks. Niacin, which is a B vitamin, can be helpful for some folks as they're weaning off of OxyContin and some of these opiate types of drugs. And then lithium, one of my favorite supplements is the element lithium, the mineral lithium, lithium aspartate or lithium orotate. That can also have a nice calming effect. And last but not least, magnesium is also a good supplement to take if you're going through the anxiety and the jitteriness of withdrawal or any kind of anxiety or jitteriness. Magnesium also can help you sleep too. And all of these supplements, GABA, lithium, niacin in its niacinamide form, and lithium and 5-HTP, those can all help you fall asleep if you have problems sleeping at night too. And melatonin, don't forget about melatonin. That can also help you not only with sleep, but it can also help you if you're coming down off of, if you're withdrawing off of opiate drugs and you're experiencing some of that hyperactivity. What else you got for us, Teresa?
Well, so those would be some things that he would take outside of the Healthy Start Pack.
These are in addition to the Healthy Start Pack. Yeah, the Healthy Start Pack's always the basics, Teresa. No matter what you're dealing with, even if you're not dealing with anything, the Healthy Start Pack is the fundamentals. It's got the Mighty 90 in there, and I try to say it every time, and I mean to say it every time, but even if I don't say it, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get benefits from the Mighty 90. All of the other satellite or accessory supplements that we talk about and all the satellite and accessory formulations that Longevity has, those are in addition to the Mighty 90. The Mighty 90 is the basics. It's what everybody needs, and that's what you're going to get in the Healthy Start Pack, especially that Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Just sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, that alone, if you don't want to do all the other things, just sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine can make a difference. Not specifically for withdrawing or not specifically for getting off of OxyContin or whatever your addictive substance is, but just for building the body and keeping the body strong, and then the body will do the rest of the work.
Okay.
What else you got for us?
So then my final question then is with regard to a lady who is on 10 to 11 different prescription drugs.
Wow.
She has a stent in her aorta that's blocking an aneurysm that she had, so it doesn't pocket up blood. And
this is a classic example of the medical model just totally taking advantage of a poor, gullible, not very sophisticated or savvy woman. This is not fair. It's so offensive to a healthcare professional who, in good conscience, who really wants to help people. Anybody who's entered into the healthcare profession who really wants to make a difference. When we hear these stories of people who are just drugged out and their bodies are stuck with stents and devices, instead of really addressing the problem, it is so infuriating, and it just makes me so angry. But this is a classic example of what you don't want to do when you interface with the medical model. How the heck can 11 drugs help anybody?
I know.
Doctors out there, how can 11 prescription poisons help any human being? How can you improve somebody's health by putting them on 11 different types of poison on top of inserting a device in their heart? Is that the best you can do, doctors, cardiologists? You should be ashamed of yourself to treat human beings this way. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Teresa.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, actually.
That just
She's
makes
a wonderful
me so angry.
woman, and she's got so many kids and grandkids. She's only 51.
And she's 51. She's a young woman. All right, get her on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Just start. Don't even think about anything else. Get her on the BTT right away. I can't tell you what to do about all the drugs because that's 11 different types of poison, and you can't just stop taking 11 drugs all of a sudden. But she can start to wean herself off of those by getting on, number 1, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Number 2, she probably should be on the Osteomag as well. Number 3, get her on the OPC Selenium. Number 4, have her eating a lot less food. The more food you eat, the more burden you put on your circulatory system. A lot less food, and focus on nutrient-dense food, especially proteins. Whey protein, if she can handle it. She may not be able to handle it. Hemp seed protein, if she can't handle it. And then weaning herself off of the insulin-spiking foods as well. Hang tight, Teresa. We'll finish up when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Brightside on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
I began to do a lot of research into why, even though I had a pretty good-sized meal, that I was still starving. And my research led me to a well-known fact that most of the soils that we grow our crops on here in the United States and across the industrialized world are almost completely depleted of almost all of the key minerals and trace elements that our bodies need to rebuild themselves, fight off cancer, and be healthy. I then searched out the best vitamin and mineral company out there and discovered Youngevity. The Youngevity products are designed to give you the real nutrition you need, and once you've got that, you don't have to eat as much to be satisfied. I've lost 37 pounds in 2 months, simply getting the vitamins and minerals I need. Check it out for yourself. It's incredible. Go to InfoWarsTeam.com today and order your first canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine Complete Multivitamin Mineral Complex Dietary Supplement. That's InfoWarsTeam.com.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Now you can get the same survival food U.S. Special Forces use on their toughest field missions. High-protein, high-energy, freeze-dried foods known as long-range patrol rations, or LRPs. Soldiers love LRP rations. They're lightweight and easy to carry. Easy to prepare by just adding water. Easy to enjoy because they taste great. Civilians love LRPs as a solution for emergency preparedness and recreational activities with limited storage space, such as hiking, climbing, sailing, or RV travel. Veteran-owned Freeze Dry Guy is your exclusive source for this 2013 U.S. military overrun. Long on nutrition, these delicious entrees have a long shelf life, lasting decades. But this rare opportunity, this limited supply, will not last long. You have to act now. Call 866-404-3663, 866-404-FOOD, or log on now to freezedryguy.com, freezedryguy.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Great minds think alike. The network for the independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network. GCN.
All right, we are back on the bright side talking to Teresa in Minnesota. Let's see, what was I saying there, Teresa? Are we good? Anything else you want to ask me?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to... just recommend to her the things that you suggested, the tangy tangerine.
Start off slowly. You know, you got a gal who's on 11 medications. She's only 51 years old, so she's been experiencing a lot of health challenges. She's got the stent going on. So you want to start off really slowly. The Beyond Tangy is a great way to start off. Have her sip on it slowly. If you drink it too fast, if she drinks it too fast, she may get some loose stools. You don't want that. So have her sip on it slowly, and then it wouldn't hurt her to get on some magnesium and selenium as well, as I mentioned earlier. And then have her eating less food. Any kind of, she's probably eating the wrong food, so eating less food is going to make a big difference just because she'll be eating less of the wrong food. But even if you eat the right food, that puts a burden on the system. The more you eat, the greater the burden on the system, especially the insulin system, which is involved in cardiovascular health. So just eating less calories is important, and of course the best way to do that is to go nutrient dense. And I told you before we went to break about whey protein and also hemp seed protein if she can't do whey. I don't know if you heard me talking about bone soup. That can also be very helpful for her. Where you take a chicken carcass or a whole chicken, you drop it in water and turn it into some soup, and then have her sip on that. Make that her main source of protein, main source of nutrition if you can. The less she eats, the longer she lives. As long as she, less she eats, the better off she's going to be. As long as she makes sure she's getting her nutrients, that's the important point. Calorie restriction with adequate or calorie restriction with optimum nutrition. That's the secret to longevity. That's the secret to anti-aging, and that's the secret to getting off of your prescription drugs as well. Making sure you're getting all your nutrients, but not getting a lot of calories. Hope that helps, Teresa.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you. God bless. Have a beautiful day. All right, moving on to Matthew in Texas. What is up, my friend? Welcome to the bright side.
Hello, yes. Am I on?
Matthew, what's up, buddy?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm calling from Austin. My mom died of congenital heart failure, and I don't believe in genetic stuff, but I mean, she lived till she was 82, died in her sleep, so she had a long, good life.
Okay.
With some deficiencies because of, the long-term problems with the disease. Here recently, over the past 3 months, I'm 58.
Yes, sir.
And in reasonably good health. I've had just severe allergies, but along with the allergies I've had just an unusual amount of fluid that I feel in my stomach, or like when I'm coughing, I'll practically. Yeah,
those are part and parcel with the allergies and the immune system. Something's getting in your body that your body doesn't like. That's basically it. And that can tumble out of control. So you really want to address it as soon as possible. Usually that means food. Now, you could be breathing something in, and that's always a possibility with air pollution and with chemtrails and with sick building syndrome, stuff that's coming out of the carpets and the insulation, and our houses are really polluted too. But the first thing you always want to focus on is food. See if you can look for some digestive problems, and then you can link those up to foods and eliminate those foods. Step number 1. Step number 2 is to start to patch up the digestive system using the probiotics. Biolumin Nightly Essence is always the first course of therapy for patching up the digestive tract. The Z Radical can help you as well. That has a nice soothing coating effect on the digestive system. Aloe vera, noni juice all have soothing effects. Bone soup, the cartilage in chicken bones, is especially soothing for the digestive tract. If you don't want to do the bone soup, or in addition to the bone soup, you can also do glucosamine. The glucogel caps from Youngevity can be helpful. Gelatin in general has a nice soothing effect on the digestive tract as long as you're not a vegetarian. And then glucosamine and essential sugars can also help with digestive health. Laying off of problem foods is always going to be your best bet, though. And focus on something getting into your system, as I say, that shouldn't be getting into your system. Mighty 90 is always important, especially if you have a history of heart disease. Vitamin C, the B complex, and magnesium, as well as selenium, are all very cardiovascular friendly and cardiovascular heart healthy and heart important nutritional supplements, and that's how I'd be focusing. Last but not least, remember the relationship, we've talked about this a lot, between insulin and, I'm sorry, I just let you go there, Matthew. I hope you're listening. There's a very important relationship between insulin and cardiovascular issues. Keeping your insulin stable, down low. That means more protein. That means less sugar. And, of course, oats and grains and pasta and potatoes and fruit juice, they all count as sugar. I'm not saying there's nothing good in grains. I'm not saying there's nothing good in oats. But you want to keep your intake of these substances low, and you want to make sure they're unprocessed. Grains are best done sprouted, by the way. If you really want to get the benefit from grains, use them sprouted. There's not a lot of benefits to using processed grains, processed kinds of flour foods. In fact, there's a lot of negative health implications to using those kinds of foods, and there's not a lot of health benefits, certainly for cardiovascular health. Thanks for your call. I'm sorry I cut you off there. Brian in Texas, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the Brightside.
Hey, Ben. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Sure. What's going on?
Big fan of the show, first-time caller.
Thank you.
You actually got 2 back-to-back calls from Austin, Texas, man. How about that?
I love Austin, man. My home away from home.
Yeah, you were just here a couple weeks ago. I missed it. They had an ice storm. And,
I know. That kind of cut into our attendance. I'll be back, though. I'll be back probably in June.
Great, man. I can't wait to meet you. Like I said, big fan of the show. I love your delivery. The way you present all the information is real simple.
Thank you.
And it's health is supposed to be simple.
It is supposed to be simple. That's right, Brian. Thank you. You got it right. If it's complicated, they're probably lying to you. If it doesn't sound like it makes sense, or you don't understand it, they don't understand it, or they're being deceitful. It should be very, very simple. How can we help you, man? I've got about 2 minutes.
You should be able to spell the stuff that you're taking, So, look, I have several topics, Ben. I want to talk a little bit about myself. I want to talk a little bit about my son. My son's a type 1 diabetic. So in the future, when I meet you in person or next time I call on the show, we'll talk about. I'm pretty healthy. I'm 50 years old. I'm a big proponent of supplementation, vitamin, minerals, and so. But the reason I'm calling today, Ben, is I'm kind of concerned. My dad has been pretty healthy. My folks are in their early 70s, travel a lot, they're retired, pretty healthy people. I got them on a good supplement, but I'm worried about my dad taking these statin drugs for his cholesterol.
Yeah.
And I want you to speak briefly. I'm not going to keep you. I want you to speak briefly, almost like you're talking to Donald J. My dad's name's Don. Just kind of explain in a nutshell, maybe some natural. And I know it's a big subject, man.
It's a huge subject. I only have about 2 minutes, but we'll help a lot of people here, Brian, because statin drugs. I think at last I heard is something like 1 out of every 10 Americans are on a statin drug. Some huge, ridiculous number, and they want even more people to be on a statin drug. There's so many things to say about it, but the first thing I want to tell you, as a pharmacist, as a registered pharmacist who's been studying medicine now for pushing 30 years. There is no friggin' way a prescription drug can make you healthier, period. End of story. It's a poison. It's a poison. How the heck is a poison supposed to make you healthier? What prescription drugs do is they change markers. They change test scores. In the case of statin drugs, they change a test score, a marker called cholesterol. And supposedly, and I say supposedly with a capital S, by lowering cholesterol, and not even cholesterol, by lowering LDL and raising HDL, you supposedly protect your heart. This is stupidity of the highest degree. First of all, LDL and HDL are not cholesterol, and they're carriers of cholesterol. They themselves are markers. And secondly, cholesterol is a vital, important, critical, maybe the most important and critical substance in the body for building tissue, for building, for making the brain healthy, for making the nervous system healthy, for keeping the skin healthy, for keeping all of your organs healthy. I cannot tell you how unspeakably vital cholesterol is. And to take a drug that monkeys around with your body's ability to make this substance is utter stupidity. There's no words to describe how stupid this is. On top of that, if you have a cholesterol problem, you have a chemistry problem. Your cells are cranking out too much cholesterol because they're defective. There's something wrong with them. They're sick. So what do you do? How do you correct this? Well, number one, the most important reason why cholesterol levels rise, why cells become defective and start cranking too much of this stuff, is because they have been deceived into thinking that we are building. Remember, cholesterol is a building substance. So when you're making too much cholesterol, for some reason cells are getting the signals they should be building. And these signals are coming, for the most part, from the chemical, the hormone, insulin. This is the number one reason why cholesterol levels get whacked out. Elevated insulin. And any diabetic will tell you that changes in cholesterol, increases in cholesterol production are associated with changes in blood sugar, with changes in insulin, so-called dysglycemia. This is the key link. This is the key component to elevations in cholesterol. And this is where you want to be working, doctors and patients too. Focus on blood sugar. Focus on insulin. Use more protein. I'm just flat out of time. I apologize, you guys. We'll continue this tomorrow. I'll start talking about statin drugs, and then we'll continue talking about cysteine tomorrow on the Brightside. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a wonderful, awesome, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later.
The state of our drinking water today is worse than at any time in human history. Studies show that most drinking water contains heavy metals, aluminum, chromium-6, agricultural and industrial toxins. If you get regular headaches, migraines, chronic pain, foggy thinking, fatigue, or nervous system malfunctions, you may have a buildup of these harmful toxins. This week at waterwebinar.com, in an all-new free webinar, Earth's most powerful cleansing secret is being revealed. Use it to neutralize inorganic particles like lead, aluminum, arsenic, and even mercury, and remove these accumulated poisons from your body. These toxins accumulate in your body over time and can cause many problems. You can get them out. Go to waterwebinar.com now and sign up for free to find out how to turn even the worst tap water imaginable into pristine water with powerful healing properties. It's your body, your water, your freedom. You have a right to drink pristine, clean water. Come and claim it. Go to waterwebinar.com now. That's waterwebinar.com. Go now and sign up for free.
Time and time again.
You need to come here and help us. We need assistance, please.
Those we should be able to depend on let us down.
Federal and state and local officials saying help is on the way. Well, the folks here in Belle Harbor say, show me.
Don't depend on the government to save you. Take action now so that you're prepared for the next disaster with MyPatriotSupply.com. Get the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more at MyPatriotSupply.com. Call 866-229-0927.
We are hurting down here, and we need help immediately.
Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.